business buzz. So if you want to launch a new product or something like that, that might be a way of doing it. Or breaking news, if you have some news about your product, or somebody else has written a nice review about it, then you can bring it in there. You often use these for customer service, so you know, it's self-explanatory. Providing expertise, as I mentioned, a lot of lawyers will write blogs. A lot of real estate people, they have their blogs so that they show their new listings. Of course, it doesn't do any good now. The market's gone down the tubes, but sometimes it works, at least when the market's good. So, and then we also have these blog portals where you can choose blogs by the type of content or the category or whatever. So if you're looking for other people's blogs, you can go in there and say you're interested in trademarks or something like that. You can punch that in there and see who wrote a blog about that. And then they have companies that review these things. Technorati, I think, is the largest one there. Because occasionally, if I Google my name or my blog, I'll see that Technorati had some kind of review about it. And I didn't know what Technorati was, but I had this little book here, and it's called Blogging. My wife was nice enough to buy this for me for my birthday about 3 years ago, and it has kind of everything you want to know about blogging. And my name Jonathan Yang. So that's all I have to do about that. Why don't we do my pictures for my trip since we don't have too much time?
I'm just going to add one quick comment. Whether you're blogging personally or for business, unless it's strictly a vanity blog where you're just blogging to see yourself in print on a computer, you want to give your readership an idea of the frequency you're going to be out there. Because nothing is more frustrating than if you're following a blog daily and it's always being updated and all of a sudden there's nothing there for a week or two. So you keep clicking on it and there's nothing new. You turn off your followers. So if you're going to be saying, hey, my next post will be in a week, you ought to do that so that you don't anger or frustrate your followers.
Yeah, you want to do it on a regular basis. Yeah, you have a question?
Do you actively search for readers for your blog, and if so, how do you do that?
No, I don't. I just do it. And, I have it on my business card, however, and so I do a lot of networking. I talk to people and everything like that, and so it's on my business card. And if you're in business, you probably want to do that. The other thing is it's on Facebook. And every time I write a new article, I'll type something on the Facebook thing saying that, hey, we just did the installment number 2 from China here. Read my blog, and here's the blog site, and you just click right to it. So there happens to be a picture of a street scene in Singapore. Yeah, we just got back from China. I think Carol mentioned that in her thing, and. But I have about 1,100 pictures, so I don't think we have time to show them all. It was Chinese New Year's at the time we were there, and that's true all through Southeast Asia. And this year now is the year of the rabbit. So we see all these cute little rabbits, not in that one, but in some of the. And by the way, I just want to mention, I take a picture of McDonald's in every country that I go to. And this is in Shanghai, this is in Old Town Shanghai, and they have the arts and crafts, they have these little stores there. And I guess the trip was when we were, that's the Republican Party in Shanghai, they have their elephant there. Actually, they only have one party there, as you probably know, but, and that's dim sum, that's Chinese food. They don't have chop suey there, by the way, just so you know. These are steamed buns, and so, yeah, and that's, once again, it's I'm trying to think of the name. Yeah. They had a snowstorm the day before I got there, and the airport was closed that day. We go into an airport in a city of 19 million people, and it's almost deserted. And I thought, well, maybe they just don't have a lot of flights there. But no, it was closed by, it was about a 3-inch snowstorm, and of course, I don't know, I assume O'Hare was closed when we had the 20 inches, but I was in Vietnam or somewhere at the time, so. Anyway, this is right within the city of Shanghai. You can see the snow on the bridges there. That's my wife there, and here's a member of the chamber too. Some kind of drag. Yeah, Jim?
Just a quick comment, and for those of you that go into blogging and that kind of stuff, if you've already got a website, don't forget to put a link to your blog on your website. Because that's the easiest way to find you, is to when somebody goes to your website and sees that you've got a blog. I've got a lot of people that use blogs now, by the way, too, in place of newsletters. So people that used to email newsletters on a weekly or monthly basis are now putting all that information on the blog and saving them 44 cents, which is why our postage rates are going up again.
We were in a tea house in Shanghai. As you know, they sell a lot of tea in China. And they dropped this thing, it looks like a walnut, into a bucket of hot water, and it blossoms like a flower. I showed a picture of it. That's a famous Pearl TV tower. It's a very iconic building in Shanghai. And it's a monument to the martyrs of World War II. And that's the Shanghai Bund. That's not like the German word Bund, but Bund means an embankment or a waterfront in China. And some of the buildings. So China is like Chicago, but it's 3 times the size, and the buildings are all taller. And, they spare no expense on infrastructure, at least in the big cities in China. So they needed to build a tunnel under that river there, the Yangtze River. And I know the Boston Tunnel took about 20 years to build. In China, this thing took 9 months to build. I'm sure President Hu, or Wen is the premier, but Hu probably got a phone call and said, hey, build the tunnel. So we didn't have environmental impact lawyers or unions say, well, wait a minute, what about ours? They don't have that kind of stuff in China. I mean, this is a communist country when it gets down to it, and OSHA and stuff like that doesn't apply. So as long as you don't rock the boat there, they don't bother you too much, and you can be fairly prosperous. But I guess if you were to go and say, well, we want to start a new political party here, it probably would be frowned upon. And so you don't really talk about that kind of stuff. But that's the Xi'an warriors, but that's just a model of it. We didn't actually go over to where they have that's inland in China. And we were in the Shanghai Museum, and they have ancient Chinese furniture. We spent about an hour there, and we still probably couldn't get near to covering the whole thing there. There's my wife, she was on her side there. There's McDonald's again. We went into the shopping mall there, and the shopping mall looks like a shopping mall anywhere else if you were to go into Woodfield or something like that, except the Chinese mall is about twice the size, and everybody's Chinese, of course. But they have the same stores. They have Best Buy and Sephora and McDonald's and Burger King, and they have KFC all over the place in Asia. They didn't have McDonald's in Vietnam, but they had KFC. So, you can still get Kentucky Fried Chicken with a picture of the Colonel there, and then they have Chinese letters under it. And there's a Chinese restaurant there. And once again, they don't have chop suey or chow mein or any of that kind of stuff. The Buddhist temple, most of the Chinese are Buddhists, but they're also Confucianists and Taoists. They actually have 3 religions. So here, you can't be Jewish and Christian at the same time, but there, apparently it's not a problem. I think the word for that is syncretic. You can be 3 things at one time, and that's what the Chinese are. But they burn incense at the temple, and then they present it to the statue of Buddha. And, they're real big on gold statues there, and jade and all that kind of stuff. Are we running overtime here? And, everything looks like a pagoda there, as you can imagine, except for the brand new buildings there. And, I wrote about a 4 or 5 page deal about Shanghai, and then the next one was about Taiwan and Okinawa, and I still have several more to write, which I haven't gotten around to yet. But that's a silk factory. They take the cocoons from the silkworms, they unravel them on the looms, they stretch it out, and then they usher you into a room where they sell all